Once upon a time, the Scream Machine was not the only wooden roller coaster in Atlanta. The other one hadn't been used in a long time, to be sure. But they found a use for the old coaster that stood out at Lakewood Park, and it went out literally in a blaze of glory.
It seemed like the old coaster was no use to anybody. Rebuilt after the Second World War, it had burned in 1944. The coaster had not been run since 1975. The city wanted it down. That suited director Hal Needham fine. He needed a stunt to punctuate the middle of Smokey and the Bandit, too. So on February 11th, Needham and a Universal Studios location crew started early. They had the entire chase sequence around the coaster to shoot, some lines by Burt Reynolds and Sally Field, and if things went right, the day would wind up with the coaster down.
Everybody ready?
The first shot, Sheriff Buford Justice's car heads in under the coaster. Almost. So everybody gets set again, and they try it again. Even though he won't be needed for a couple of hours, Burt Reynolds comes out to say hello. And to see about Needham's case of the Montezuma Tango.
How are you? I'm the one that's usually how are you, not me. We ought to have some laughs, huh? Yeah.
Stunt doubles are doing all the driving, and in a long shot, you can't tell Burt from his look-alike or Sally from hers. Howdy said it was time for everybody except Burt to get back to work.
All right, here we go. Now we're rolling.
Speed.
The next shot, Bandit's black turbo Trans Am heading in under the coaster, was covered, as were all shots from several angles by several cameras. This saves time and money by giving exactly matching shots of the same action, and that means that the editor has more choices. And if something happens to one camera, another one has it covered. And the fewer times you have to do stunts like these, the better it is. While director and crew headed for another part of the coaster, demolitions expert Jim Reedike and his crew finished getting it ready to go down on cue.
I've never done a roller coaster before, so I don't really know. We've done some test shooting out here. We did bunches of things to kind of figure out the volume of explosives and what should happen. But, you know, like anything else, there's a lot of unknowns in one of these things. It's rotten in a lot of areas, and we may hit a good timber, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's really no way you can drop it straight down like you would a building, per se, because of all the X-bracing and the way it's constructed. You know, if it had tons of weight up there like a building or something, it'd be different, but you don't have that much weight. This is just kind of fun for me to get involved in, but building demolition is really what I do for a living. Well, basically, we've taken and used a lot of chainsaw and cut the roller coaster like you would slice a loaf of bread in about 16 different places. We're using a small Class C explosive called Primacord. It's a 100-grain Primacord, and we're doubling it over and putting it in the hole with an electric blasting cap. We've drilled right at 900 holes, be equal to about 20 sticks of dynamite, 1¼ inch by 8-inch sticks of dynamite. So we're really not talking about great volume. 20 sticks of dynamite is not all that much explosive, considering the fact it's going to go off over 11 seconds.
While the crews moved cameras, another bunch made a dirt road under the coaster. And Burt and Sally were asking Needham if some lines they'd made up would fit.
Take off. Damn, I just love amusement parks.
You are an amusement park.
They did fit, so Burt and Sally, with a camera stuck in the window, took one rehearsal ride and got the shot. Then it was lunch. Steak and crab legs were slices of dessert from Burt's birthday cake.
What? Give you zits just cutting that one.
Afternoon shooting started with more close-ups of Burt and Sally in the car, and everybody wondering the same thing. Would they blow the coaster? Days are short in February, and if the explosion had to be postponed, it would mean a lot of money and throw the movie off schedule.
If that one's good, we'll go down and make the jump next, okay?
Yeah, we'll do.
It was good, and there were just 2 shots to go before the big bang. First, the Trans Am jump. Then the sheriff's car, as usual, getting the worst of the deal.
How you doing?
Mayor Jackson arrived right on time to hit the switch. Spectators lined the hills, and the area around the coaster was cleared. An aerial camera, one of 5, focused on the doomed coaster, and it was time.
Okay, we ready?
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now that's what they did on a long working day at Lakewood Fairgrounds. And here's what it comes down to in Smokey and the Bandit 2.
Roller coaster. Yeah.
Turn left right here, Daddy.
Damn, I'm in amusement park.
You are an amusement park.
Yeah.